Tariq, how close do you think the rest of the Western Europe and even the sporting world in general is following the Bundesliga and how they proceed?
I think they're going to be following it extremely closely. Of course, the path of the virus is different in different countries, but also it's the mechanism, the process of doing something that we've never seen, of bringing a game back from a pause that hasn't happened before, getting players fit, getting them on the field, and televising matches around the world without stadiums. Christian Seifert told me each game, which would require the players, the physios, the attendant staff, plus the broadcasting operations, they estimate that they will require 240 different people to be at each of these stadiums. That's quite a complicated process, and one that is going to be going on during a global pandemic. The interesting thing, again, is these CEOs, they're not working in isolation. There have been talks with the European Leagues Group, which is the umbrella body for a number of top leagues. These guys are on their Zoom calls, WhatsApp calls, whatever way they can communicate with each other. And they've been doing that quite regularly to have a kind of a harmonized approach to dealing with issues. This dates back to the big potential fight with the clubs, ECA and UEFA, over the future of the Champions League. But again, these forums, these bonds that they've built, are extremely important at times like this. And they're talking collectively with UEFA. I think we saw some of the information last week about what's going to happen. The Champions League is being suspended indefinitely. Alexander Seferin, the UEFA president, has bowed to the inevitable. I think that the domestic competitions have to finish first, and he's given them those July and August dates. And interesting, Christian Seifert said, look, we want to finish as quickly as possible, not only for our own interests, of course they're on the hook for hundreds of millions of euros in television money, but also for the European competitions and for UEFA. You scratch my back, we'll scratch your back, and we'll figure out a way of getting through this situation, which is very messy and is nobody's fault.
Jon, before I let you go, how surprised are you with this plan of action?
I am surprised. I'm reluctant to be sceptical where German sport is concerned, because they are so well organised and so well drilled. And also, it is a nation. It's no surprise that they're 2 months ahead of the UK and Italy and Spain in terms of dealing with this pandemic and starting to emerge from it now, because theirs is a society in which orders are given by the federal government and they are obeyed. There's no questioning of stay-at-home orders there, and they've benefited from that. The culture in other European countries is somewhat different. Certainly here in the UK, it's been a battle to get people to accept a lockdown in a way that wasn't the case in Germany. So no surprise that they are ahead of that particular curve. My scepticism, though, rests in, say they do start May the 2nd and 3rd, and say on May the 4th, Robert Lewandowski tests positive for coronavirus. What happens then? I just think that this is a great plan in terms of a wave of optimism, showing that, yes, sport can return perhaps sooner than we thought, but it's a very fragile plan. It would only take 2 or 3 such instances as that I've just alluded to with a player of the profile of Lewandowski, and the whole thing could fall in on itself. I think we have to be aware of that.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.